I'm Robbie, and I've built $100 million Web3 companies. I've also advised dozens more. Sometimes I've had projects fail. So I look at companies and projects a little differently than most. In this series, I'm going to be taking a look at one video per week where I break down each project and give it a score out of 10 based on its real potential. Today, I spoke with the founder of one of the Base Batches 2 finalists, which is Coinbase's global hackathon and builder program. And this one is actually super interesting. After speaking with hundreds of founders and projects, what's clear is that although many projects may look really good on the surface, they actually fall apart when it comes time to execute or distribute. This company is actually trying to solve a real problem, but it is also playing in one of the hardest areas to get right in crypto right now, one without any playbook or any blueprints for how to do it. So let's break it down properly. On the surface, this looks like another RWA project, but actually the structure here is slightly different, and the model is as follows. 1. They source real-world opportunities. 2. They package them into SPVs, special purpose vehicles, which is a special type of company. 3. They tokenize them, and then 4. They allow a user to fund them. So what they're actually building is an access layer to capital markets. And this is where most people truly misunderstand. Tokenization is not the hard part. Distribution is. The real value here in what this project is building is reducing the friction between the capital and the opportunity. This company is called Fractalized. Let's take a look at what they're actually building. So this is the Fractalized website. As we can see here, it suggests that we're able to invest in commercial vessels secured by long-term charter contracts, historically delivering annual returns. Directly on the right-hand side, we can see that one of their commercial tankers, named presumably Tulip, a chemical tanker with a widget that allows us to directly invest. If I click Launch App here, we can see that there's a little widget that allows us to buy and sell. So at this point, if we click buy and sell, it also provides us a little viewport here, which also is showing the demand and the price of the actual assets for the buys and the sells. Simply put, when we get to the actual project page for this particular investment opportunity, it gives us a description here of the actual commercial tanker itself. And on the right hand side, it gives a breakdown of the market cap, as well as the vessel value itself, and also the return on investment opportunity. As I understand it, the percentage is paid out on a monthly basis, meaning if you actually invest $1,000, you should expect $180 return every month. Other than the investment opportunity here, if we return back to the home page, we can actually see a bunch of options along the top. Actually, if you take a look at the white paper, there is a ton of information on there. Also, we can take a look at how it works. This page is super helpful. It breaks down really simply exactly how the process works, from the due diligence that they complete on each opportunity, the tokenization of each asset and how that is done, how people fund it, all the way through to the distribution of the assets in terms of the proceeds of the revenues. So the website and the product works really well. Now, this is actually the part that most people will miss, and the part that actually will set it aside from many competitors. The founder and the team are not just crypto native, they actually work in heavy industry. For example, shipping, infrastructure, energy. And the real reason that they've actually focused on maritime to begin with is because, of course, they have lots of expertise here. And this is what matters more than anything, because sourcing these deals and structuring them is where most of these real-world asset projects will fail. And that's what sets Fractalized aside. Other than a really solid product, they actually have a really solid team that actually have direct experience in the industry that they are trying to penetrate. I did some further investigation of their team. I took a look at, and I actually spoke with Omer directly myself. I was really impressed by his pedigree, and he spoke about many of his colleagues. I've done some further research with respect to the CEO and a gentleman here who called Senk, and just with a quick Google around, you can see that there is definitely pedigree within the maritime industry. So the theme looks solid, the product looks good. What about their socials, which, as we know, has to be one of the most critical ingredients for launching a successful Web3 company? Well, if we take a look at their Twitter page here, we can see that they have 1,317 followers, which, as of this moment in time, is not a great amount. So they will definitely need to spend a little bit more time building out that social profile. But look, at the end of the day, they are literally just starting out. So we're taking a look at this project really early doors. And we can see here that there is some relevant base accounts that are following Fractalized, such as the Eastern European lead, which would make sense as I believe that they are based out of this region, as well as other regional base leads and some other accounts. Other than Twitter, Fractalized do also have a Telegram community channel. However, there are less than 100 people in there right now, and it's pretty inactive. So there is not much to say about that here. I would hope, and I'm sure, that the Fractalized team will spend quite a bit of extra time building out this community over time. So we've taken a look at the team, the product, and the community. So what are the risks with Fractalized? From my perspective, there's three main considerations. 1, deal flow. Can they consistently source high quality opportunities for their users? 2, are users trusting them enough to manage their capital once they are invested? And 3, regulation. The closer you get to real world capital markets, the more scrutiny that you attract. Trust me, I've been there, I've seen it. This isn't a UI UX challenge, this is a real world execution challenge. And I'm really intrigued to see whether this team can actually crack it. But they've given themselves a great opportunity, building on base, starting out with real world expertise and a real smooth product. So if I were to score each section out of 10, starting with the product, I'd suggest that it comes in at about a 7 out of 10. It's not completely novel, but the commercialization of oil tanker contracts or chemical tanker contracts kind of is. Narrative. I'd have to put that in a pretty solid 8, maybe even 9 out of 10. Other than AI, RWAs are really hot right now. The team, have to say, really solid 8 out of 10. They've really clearly got experience and pedigree inside the initial capital market that they're trying to penetrate at the very least. To give the team a 9 or 10 out of 10, I'd have to see the super hack distributor, someone who clearly has a wide range of followers, which would enable them to distribute this product super quickly. Socials. That probably comes in at a 5 out of 10, which may be even slightly generous at this stage, given the fact that I can only find they have a Twitter and a Telegram. Twitter with very few followers and Telegram with even fewer. I don't want to be too harsh because clearly this team has prioritized operational and product efficiency ahead of the socials for now. But as we know in Web3, that doesn't always lead to the best distribution. Overall, I'd give this product a solid 7.5, maybe even 8 out of 10. The team and the product are clearly there. The socials could probably do with a little bit more focus. It's early, but the fundamentals are truly there. So here's my founder take. If I were building Fractalized, I'd do these 3 things. 1, lock in high quality deals that get users excited super early. 2, once those users see those deals, I'd be over-indexing on trust, and I would be building out that community hyper hard. And 3, I'd try to build some credibility outside of crypto as well, not just inside it, because that is where some of those hot Web2 deal flows are going to come from. Final verdict, overall, really solid 7 out of 10. Not because it's perfect, but because it's aiming itself at solving a real world problem, which is access to capital markets for the consumer layer, and they have the right backing behind it with a solid mix of Web3 prowess and Web2 or traditional capital market experience. Honestly, most people will ignore projects like this that are super early because perhaps they haven't quite got the social following that they'd be looking for, and then wonder why they've missed them later because the team and the product are solid. I'm going to be breaking down some more base projects like this, so if you want some more founder level insights, please like and subscribe.